Hello everyone, welcome back to I Create For You. Today is Whatever Wednesday, and that means we're going to be in the 200 drawing prompts book, and I'd like to get a few more of these done, so I might continue with this for a little bit unless something else pops up that I think may interest you on a Wednesday. We did prompt number 50 last week, which was the woolly mammoth. The saying I had for that was, be hopeful. Maybe our successor will do better than we did. Meaning hoping our future generations have better luck at having a better world to live in. Basically. I don't know. It's been a little tricky, touch and go the past few years. Okay, so today is prompt 51. It's giraffe. And so I am going to draw a crazy cute giraffe. Hopefully I can pull this off because I'm going to try to do it that he's peeking around the page. I don't know. Like his rest of his body's over here somewhere and his head's right here and he's peeking sideways. So we'll see what we can come up with. See if I can pull this off. So I'm just wondering, how's everybody doing? Hope everything is okay in your life, and if not, don't give up. Things will always get better. And there's always someone who's struggling just a little bit more than you are, so you can put that into perspective a little bit. It might help you trudge along, and maybe you could uplift someone else in a bad situation. Okay, you know camels have such long eyelashes. It's just like you get so jealous of their beautiful eyelashes. They're so thick and full. Speaking of giraffes, I remember back in, oh gosh darn, I don't even know what year it was. It might have been like 2017 or something like that. No, it wouldn't have been, because my oldest grandson was born in 2018. And no, he was born in 2013. Jeez Louise, I'm losing my mind. It may have been 2015 or 16. We went to Oklahoma, and we took my grandson and my daughter and her now husband, and we went on a trip to when we went to the trip on our road trip to Oklahoma. We also went to see the Dallas Zoo. We just went to Texas, and they hadn't been to Texas, and I hadn't been to Texas before, but Mark had been to Texas. But I made it a point that it was kind of cool. Online, I had been watching. They had a giraffe who had just given birth not long before we had gotten there, and so we got to see that little cute little bugger. I mean, it was cute as heck. So we got to see that, and they had like a contest to see who could name it, and if they kept the name, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name. I mean, I can't remember someone's name that I just met yesterday, for gosh sake. I don't know how I would remember that. Anyway, we had a blast. I mean, it's something to see it happening. Like, we're all the way in Pennsylvania, and then to see that happening online. I'm trying to figure out how I am doing this. Oh my god. I made it look like a freaking alien. Well, let me see if I can work my way out of this. This is his horn. This is his. I should have did the horns first, or whatever those little nubs are called. I have no idea. Does anybody know what these little nubs are called at the top of their head, and what are they good for? Besides cute decoration. That'd be a good trivia question. Anyway, I thought it was awesome to be living here in Pennsylvania, witnessing the birth of this giraffe and then able to go visit it in the zoo. So that was just fun as heck. Yeah, I'm not doing very good at this. You know why? Because I'm trying to draw this on the side, and I see what my issue is. I need to draw it this way, head on. So we are going to work at that. So sorry. Okay. We'll get it going here. Okay, so now I have an idea of how I can do this, that it's not going to look funky. Man, I had it like, if you would have seen, if I would have kept going, this would have been the most alien looking giraffe you ever did see. Because, yeah, it was not looking good. Okay, and I like drawing animals so much, and so that kind of bothered me that I was kind of making it look like an alien. I'm going to draw his nose now. Her nose, his nose. They have such, like I said before, they have such beautiful eyelashes. And that it was so hot when we went there, and I don't know why, but when I was pregnant with my daughter back in '92, she was born in September, and in August we took my son. Well, we took my parents we always in the summertime take trips here and there, little getaways, and we went to the Philadelphia Zoo. I don't know if any of your ladies out there who are watching this can sympathize with me a little bit on this, but when you're pregnant, your sense of smell is heightened, and oh my God, that was the most horriblest thing, because it was so hot. I'm 8 months pregnant, and we are walking through the zoo, and it stinks so bad. And I was just like, all I wanted to do was go somewhere and puke because it stank so bad. And yeah, it just was not a pleasant experience. It was because I got to share that with my son at the time. But, you know, it's just like when you're pregnant like that, and your sense of smell is heightened, and then you're smelling, ugh. The heat did not help with the smell at all. And then here we were. We went to the Dallas Zoo, and once again it was hot out, and it stank so bad. I don't know what it is about that, the heat and the stink of a animal enclosures and stuff. It was just nasty. Hold on one second. Oh, never mind. I was waiting. I have to keep yelling at my one kitty cat. She's getting herself in trouble every day. She's being a little too aggressive with the other kitties, and I have to put her in line. Thank goodness I have a squirt bottle where I can just squirt her, and she goes on her way. For, you know, she's worse than a toddler. She's got definite listening issues. She doesn't like to listen sometimes. And I keep telling her, she keeps acting up, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to let her go. And you know what? It's funny. You know, they say sometimes animals can understand you. And I think at that moment she understands me, because she'll tend to back off for a little bit. But yeah, she's just a little too aggressive lately. She'll go up to him and she'll do the whole licking and grooming her brothers, and then all of a sudden it's like Jekyll and Hyde. She starts off with that lovey-doveyness, and then she just gets full on. She starts to bite them in the neck like a vampire, and so I'm not sure what all her behavioral issues are about lately, but she's got some. This ear looks like it needs to be just a little bit bigger. So we shall do that. We'll make it a little bit longer. I had to get up and make sure you guys were seeing me. And I apologize if you guys were out of frame at any moment. That's what I get for yapping. But yeah, it's fun doing those kind of things. I miss doing all that stuff when I was younger. You know, like when you get older and you look back and you remember some stuff, you might have thought that your childhood sucked in a way. And we all get that way. We all think we had it rough, or our parents were too strict or something to that effect, but I miss it tremendously. Some of the things that we did when I was growing up were just like, I should have just enjoyed it, because now I don't have that. I don't have that fun and interesting time anymore. I kind of also filtered down to when I had children. I always tried to do things that would get us out and about and do stuff. And I always tried, especially in the summertime, we always should do hands-on stuff. Well, back then we didn't have the whole cell phone thing, so they weren't immersed in other things that nowadays they have. But we got out and we did stuff, and it was fun. It was making memories, and they didn't even realize it, but they were fun, because we'd all go places, and we tried to visit some kind of sanctuary, animal shelter type thing, and at least once during the summer. And we'd go to Knoebels Amusement Resort, which is really awesome. It's a free admission amusement park, and we'd go there. Once a year would be our thing for that, and that was fun too. It wasn't expensive, and it was a great way to spend a day and make memories, and it was fun taking my kids there when they were little, and then later on enjoying my grandchildren and my children actually taking their kids to there for tradition. So yeah, it trickles down and makes for great memories. And today is just so expensive to do things like that. So you go where you can afford, and if not, you just do a picnic somewhere. I remember we went to Baltimore Aquarium one time when my son was really little. He was still in a stroller. I mean, he was like maybe 1.5, 2. And I remember we also went to this place. It's called Lake Tobias, and it was a animal park, and sometimes some of the animals you got to pet. And I remember there was this area with goats and kids could go in there and play with the goats. And of course, these are our little pygmy goats. There is our giraffe, by the way. And so these were little pygmy goats, and I remember I lifted my son over the fence so he could be in with the. He was 2 and running around at this point. Oh no, actually he was just about the same age, like 1.5 maybe. And he went into. We put him in there, and he was traumatized by these goats because the goats, for some reason, I thought it was going to be cute because they were little pygmy goats, and they would be just his size, just like a puppy dog. And these goats came over as we were placing him down, and as soon as his feet hit the ground, these goats were tugging at his diaper. And oh my gosh, the trauma. I'm trying to get him out. They're pulling on his diaper. They're like disrobing his diaper. It was funny, but it wasn't. You know, I started to get panic stricken because it was like I was trying to pull him out, and these guys were just having too much fun with his diaper. And there he is, or she is, peeking her out around the page. Yeah, he hasn't forgotten that either. Every now and then he'll say something. My son has a good sense of humor. He'll say something like, "Hey Mom, remember when you traumatized me at the petting zoo in that one park?" I said, "Well, you know, my response one time was, well, I think it was trying to tell you needed to be potty trained. You didn't need those diapers anymore." He says, "I think I pooped in them that right after." He's funny. Look at how these blending stubs really make it look awesome. They just makes it look like the hair. Softens it up a lot, so you don't have such harsh lines. Oh, and the lush eyelashes. We're putting mascara on the eyelashes. Look at that. Look at how that just... It's awesome. Awesome sauce. There, you can see it this way, or you can see him peeking around. Well, I hope you liked today's sketch. The next sketch will be number 52, Wishing Well, and then it'll be 53, Bullseye. This is going to be interesting because it's a structure. So I'm not too good with structures, but I'm pretty sure I got this. So I think we'll be good with that. I'm not going to even stress over it. Bullseye, okay, I interpret that 2 different ways, and you'll get to see which way I'm going to draw the bullseye. I'm pretty sure you know. And I'll give you the next 2 after that are number 54, A Bouquet of Roses, and number 55, The Aurora Borealis Sky, which is on my bucket list. And I've known areas around here where they've seen the northern lights, but I still haven't seen them because I live too much into the city where there's too much light activity that the sky isn't as clear as it should be. But one of these days, I'll get lucky enough to see that. That's on my bucket list. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like this idea with the drawing prompts, and I hope that you are challenging yourself. I mean, this is a challenge for me. We're not even halfway through the book yet, but I don't know if we're going to finish this book this year. I would like to because I have another book that I had started, and I want to more or less get into that one. But I think like around Halloween, I will get out my Halloween sketchbook, and we'll be doing that. I mean, like I have another book too. It's a wolf sketchbook that I got at Five Below, and it's going to be nothing but wolves in that book. and I'm going to work on that. Like this Saturday, I'm getting an oil change because it's a free one. I'm going to Mavis and getting a free oil change for our vehicle. And while they're doing that, I'm going to take my sketchbook and sketch. So I'll probably be posting sketches on Saturday if I get them finished. If not, I'll post for another day. Like I said before, thanks so much for stopping by. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and subscribe if you haven't. I'm sure you would like some of the things we do on this channel, especially sketch-wise. And stay happy, stay healthy, stay creative, stay colorful, stay true to yourself, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much for your support. Bye-bye for now.